Hola, my name is Pamela. Welcome to my channel. Today I will talk about to make explanations more digestible. I will divide this topic in 3 parts. Also, in the description of the video, I will leave definitions and the minute and second when I start talking about each one. Now, let's begin. All control instruments have its own terminology depending on the industry, and these terms are what define the characteristics of each one of them. Thanks to the suggestions of this standard, this terminology has been unified, so we can all understand them. After all this, we can start with the definitions. The measuring range is the range of measured values for a measurand in which defined error limits are not exceeded. For example, a temperature instrument of 100 to 300 Celsius will only be able to measure within that temperature range. The span is the difference between upper and lower value of the instrument's measuring range. Going back to the last example, the span of this instrument would be 200 Celsius by the subtraction of 300 minus 100. Precision refers to the closeness of 2 or more measurements to each other. An example might be a pressure gauge with a measuring range of 0 to 10 bar. If it measures 7.49, 7.5, 7.51, and 7.52 alone over a certain time in the same conditions means that the instrument has great precision because the maximum difference between the measured values, that is 7.49 minus 7.52, would be of 0.03. It should be noted that the precision and the accuracy are not the same, and that precision is synonymous with repeatability, which I will explain later. Dead zone is defined as the largest change of input quantity for which there is no output of the instrument. I mean, it's the range of input value for which the output is 0. Retaking the last example of the temperature instrument, if they say the dead zone is plus minus 1%, then this will be plus minus 0.2 Celsius. Well, for this, we do the following. 0.1 is our dead zone, multiplied by 200, which is our span, by 100 to get rid of the percentage. This will give us as a result plus minus 0.2 Celsius. Sensitivity is the smallest absolute amount of change that can be detected by a measurement after the resting state has been reached and is given in percentage of the span. Retaking the last example of the temperature instrument, again, plus minus 0.05%, we do the same operation we did to calculate the dead zone. And this gives us plus minus 0.1 Celsius, which means if temperature changes plus minus 0.1 Celsius or more, the instrument will be able to detect it and adjust its output to display that change. Repeatability is the closeness of the agreement between the results of successive measurements of the same measurand carried out under the same conditions of measurement. Its maximum value is considered, and is expressed as a percentage of the span. To determine repeatability, the manufacturer checks the difference between the true value of the measured variable and the output signal of the instrument traversing the entire measuring range and starting from its minimum value. Retaking the example of the pressure gauge with a measuring range of 0 to 10 bar, here we have a table of the measurements that the pressure gauge had in every 0.5 bar. Repeatability is calculated with this formula. Making the substitution using the table values gives us, that is, plus minus 0.2%. Hysteresis is the difference between two separate measurements taken at the same point. The first is taken during a series of increasing measurement values and the other during a series of decreasing measurement values. The hysteresis is caused by the natural reluctance of a material to return to an original state after adding and removing a physical change, such as an increase and decrease in temperature or pressure. For example, if we measure a variable of 40 Celsius with a thermometer with a measuring range of 0 to 100 Celsius, let's say The thermometer marks 39.9 when we measure from 0, and it measures 40.1 when the temperature drops from 100. Then hysteresis will be calculated by dividing 40.1 minus 39.9 by 100 minus 0. This all multiplying it by 0.1, which will give us a hysteresis of plus minus 0.2%. And well, that will be all for this video. If you think I was missing something or had a translation mistake, don't hesitate to leave your comment. I release new videos every Wednesday in Spanish and every Friday in English. Subscribe so you don't miss the second and third part of this topic. Adios! Plus minus 0. Carried out. Which will we? Hola. Hola.
¿Qué haces?
The measure. Ugh.